Hi everyone, welcome back to Code with Yusuf. In the previous lesson, we have talked that we'll be moving connection string from Program.cs into appsettings.json because that is crucial and essential part for us. Imagine when you deploy your project in several environments, that means the dev, test, pre-production, production, or other stage, you need to replace these connection strings before each of the deployment, and it's often human mistakes. And developer can do mistakes sometimes, like they can forget to replace this connection string according to environment. That's why you need to separate developer where they can mistake. Because of this main reason, we'll define our connection string into appsettings.json and we'll be reading in the program.cs. Let's see how to do it. In the appsettings.json schema, there is logging object. I will extend it. After this login object, I will click enter and press double quote. Here, Visual Studio Code give me some insight. I will choose connection string, but the corresponding value is object type, because in the application you can define several database connection string here. It could be cache database, relation database, NoSQL database, or several databases you can access in your application. That is why it is object type. I need to define here corresponding key and value to represent my database. The key is arbitrary. It is up to you. I will choose default connection, but the value should comes from the program.cs. I will copy my connection string in the program.cs and pass the corresponding key of the default connection. Now in the appsettings.json, we have defined our connection string successful. Let's focus how to read in the program.cs. I will define one variable to read connection string with the builder that comes web application.create builder dot configuration that get connection string. I will close my parentheses also. Here, this get connection string value should comes appsettings.json key, because we have mentioned that is the object type and it could involve several connection string. And that is why here we need to mention which connection string we want to read. I will copy default connection and paste inside the get connection string method. Here we have defined one variable over the configuration get connection string method, and we assigned its value to the connection string. In the use SQL server, I will delete static defined connection string and I will use my variable. Now we have successfully read our connection string from the app settings. Let's test whether it works or not. I will set up one breakpoint inside the program.cs file and I will execute my project. As soon as you start up one project, it executes program.cs even you didn't fire any function here, because that is the startup point of our project. That is why I set up one breakpoint to observe whether it reads successfully connection string or not. We have accessed connection string and we read and we assigned our connection string variable, and over this variable we have configured our services into the IOC container. Well, after being sure our connection string works fine, let's recap what we have learned in this lesson. In the appsettings.json, we have defined one section, which is the connection string, and its corresponding type is object type, because we mentioned we can define several database connection string here. And now we have defined our key and value to represent our database connection. Inside the program.cs, by the get connection string method, we accessed this default connection inside the appsettings.json and we assigned one variable and we have configured our services inside the IOC container. Thanks for watching. In this lesson, we learned how to define connection string inside the appsettings.json. And in the next lesson, we'll see the relationship in the Entity Framework core. Relationship is crucial part for relational database. That is why it's most important for us. And let's see how to implement in the next lesson.